Hello, and welcome to today's episode. I'm going to be your host, The Irrelevant Nerd. Today, we're going to be reviewing Season 1 of the Amazon series, Fallout. There are going to be light spoilers in this review. I'm not going to go super in-depth into a lot of the plot points here, but if you haven't seen it, I cannot recommend it enough, but there are going to be some spoilers. Here we go. This show caught me off guard. I was not expecting to be drawn in as quickly as I was. This show might have the best intro scene of all time in terms of getting you to be interested in a world and compel you to keep watching. The intro scene is of one of the main characters. His name is Cooper Howard. And he's played by Walton Goggins, and you see him at a birthday party, and he's talking to his daughter about explosion sizes, where basically if you see an explosion off in the distance, if it's smaller than the size of your thumb, you're fine. If it's bigger than the size of your thumb, no matter what you do, you're done. Sure enough, at the end of this scene, you see some explosions going off. His daughter is putting her thumb in the air, trying to figure out if she should be worried or if they're safe. And then it cuts to black, and then we move into the main show. What a strong opening scene. This is really, you got to just show, if you want somebody to watch this show, just pull up that scene on YouTube, show it to them, and I guarantee they will be hooked. It is that good. So the show is basically centered around three main characters. I know that the cast listing has more main characters than these three, but these are basically the three main characters that you follow. Lucy McLean, played by Ella Purnell. She is a vault dweller from Vault 33. The vault dwellers live inside of these vaults after this great nuclear holocaust has begun, and they're just basically trying to keep society going until they can re-enter the mainland, repopulate, rebuild society. You have Maximus, who's played by Aaron Moten, who was this is probably the first thing I've seen him in, and I was really blown away by his performance. This unknown came in, and I thought he carried his own. He plays kind of this awkward, socially weird dude, and he just nails it. But Maximus is a squire for the Brotherhood of Steel, and the Brotherhood of Steel are this military organization that has charged themselves with getting as much pre-war technology as they can and either adapting it, hoarding it, gaining the information. They don't explain a lot in this show, but that kind of seems to be their basic purpose. Third main character is you have Cooper Howard, played by Walton Goggins. He also plays a character called the Ghoul, which is revealed, I believe, at the end of episode 1, where the Ghoul is basically someone who has been somewhat altered by the radiation in the world outside, but manages to take this concoction of medications that keeps him from, I guess, losing the little bit of humanity he has left. And he is a bounty hunter who is on a mission to try to find his family. Now, what's really interesting about him trying to find that family is this story is set 200-ish years after the Great War of 2077. So obviously much longer than humans live. So it creates this mystery of, are they alive? Where are they if they are alive? And if they are alive, how are they still alive after centuries? Most people just assume that they're dead, so the Ghoul must know something that they just have chosen not to reveal to the audience yet, and just kind of creating this bigger mystery. And the way that the season is told is it's kind of three separate stories. Of each of the main characters, you have Lucy McLean and the the mission that she's on, and she serves kind of as our eyes to this world as she leaves her vault and she's learning all these new things and seeing all these new characters and learning how society works and functions outside of these vaults she's been in. We basically see it all from her eyes as she's learning and discovering, we're learning and discovering. And I would say, if you're looking at these three main characters, I would argue that Lucy is the main character. I believe we get the most screen time with her, as well as some of the undercurrents of the story are directly involving her and her family. But so we have her story, we have Maximus's story, and Maximus is looking to prove himself to the Brotherhood of Steel. He is a squire for the Knights. The Knights wear these giant mech robot suits that allow them to go out and fight all of these nuclear creatures, raiders in the area, they're humans, as they go on their mission trying to collect these artifacts. And he very much wants to be a knight. And the squire basically helps them gather information, document stuff, help maintain their weapons, their suit, provide medical aid. They're very, very important, but he very clearly wants to be the guy in the suit, and eventually the knight that he's working for, I believe his name is Titus, played by Michael Rapaport, treats him so horribly that Maximus lets him die, takes his suit, and then tries to kind of continue on with the mission himself. And they eventually send him his own squire, who is was like not a classmate. I don't even know how to describe them, but they were squires together, and the squire that they send to help him, his name is Thaddeus, was a dick to him before, when you show him before he goes on this mission with Titus. And so it's Maximus is in the suit, doesn't want to reveal that he let his knight die, and now he's the one in the suit because he didn't earn that promotion. And that's not it. I don't believe that's how the Brotherhood of Steel works, is you don't just get to step up into the suit because you happen to be there. So it creates an interesting dynamic between them, and it really affects how Maximus carries himself, trying to make sure that his identity is hidden until he obviously can't later on in the season. And then you have Cooper Howard's role, or the Ghoul's role, where his storyline is he is this bounty hunter, and he is trying to get money to get this concoction of drugs that allow him to hold on to his little bit of humanity, while also trying to find his wife and daughter and anybody who might have information to help him find these people. And so you have the three separate stories, and what's kind of fun is the stories do intersect and diverge again, and intersect a little bit more and diverge a little bit more. It flows really well between these three characters and connecting them, but still keeping each individual story very interesting. It's like this really is a season of just a constant mystery. You're trying to figure out, how did this war start? How did this society form? Really, these vault dwellers, like, why, how? There is some mystery about the vaults. Like, there's an entire vault near them that it seems like everybody who was in that vault is now dead. And so as they're exploring deeper into the vault, you're trying to learn more about what set it up, how set it up, why did they set it up this way. And even after Lucy leaves with her brother and her cousins and all of the other people in there, you're still kind of exploring what had happened. And it's one of those things where it seems like the more they discover, the more questions you have, and the more tense it seems to become for these characters. Like, they're very obviously trying to hide something from just your standard vault dweller, as well as the audience is kind of left in the dark as well. And like, you have Lucy's dad, who's kidnapped very early in the season, which is what compels Lucy to come out of the vault. And he's basically kidnapped because they insist that part of whatever's going on is his fault. You don't learn directly how. You do see him in a few flashbacks from hundreds of years ago, which, again, how are they still alive? They haven't revealed that to us yet. I'm very excited to find out, but he's ended up kidnapped. And you learn a little bit more about him, but you're still trying to piece together what exactly was his role in all of this. And then of those three storylines, easily my favorite is the one with Coop, the ghoul. Back before the war, it shows him being kind of compelled to be a spokesperson for this company, Vault-Tec, who creates the vaults that all the vault dwellers are in now, of which his wife works at the company. And as he looks more into what's going on, it very much seems like they are trying to engineer the world towards a nuclear war, basically just to help them with their business. And so it creates this tension between Coop and his wife, and Coop goes and tries to do some investigating on his own and seems to be just stopped at every turn. And every single time it would pull back to this storyline of showing Coop in the past before the explosions, I was so enthralled. Like, really, that's my only complaint of the season, is very much near the end of the season. Anytime it would cut away from his story, I would be agitated because I wanted to know more. And it's not that the other stories are bad, and they were still as entertaining, but there was something about Coop's story I wanted to see more. And so every time it cut away, I'm like, what are we doing? Like, this is the show. And so I know it's going to get fleshed out more in season 2, and I really am interested to see, what happened with his wife. Is he trying to find her because he loves her? Is he trying to find her for a sense of revenge? Is he trying to find her just to get his daughter away from her after everything that's happened? I don't know, but I think the show does a good job of making you wonder what's going on. It makes you want to see more. And you have this character, the one who had kidnapped Lucy's dad. Her name is Lee Moldaver, and she's kind of the one that sets Lucy's story into motion. And again, she's another character you see from hundreds of years ago, and she is trying to warn, like, the ghoul, Coop, about what his wife might be up to and what the company might be doing. And it turns out she's invented basically something that would give the world sustainable energy. And, Vault-Tec doesn't want that, because then nuclear tensions go down and their business doesn't do as well, and blah, blah, blah. But it's just one more of these fun characters that you get to meet that you're like, what exactly is going on? And like, really, besides these three main characters, there are a lot of great side characters that you are super interested in. Like I just said, Lee Moldaver, you're trying to figure out what the heck she's doing. What's she going on now? How'd she get here? You want to figure out what's going on with Hank McClane, like Lucy's dad, and what's going to happen with him next. You have her brother, Norm, who's the one who stays in the vault, who's kind of pushing the story forward there, and is not taking no for an answer and getting these answers. You have Thaddeus, the squire I mentioned, who comes out to help Max. Interesting dynamic there. You have Lucy's cousins that are still in the vault. Lucy's cousin, who ends up getting involved with this pregnant woman whose husband got killed during a raid of that vault, and kind of shows their relationship grow. And you see how everybody's responding and how the leaders of the vault are responding. I don't remember the character's name, but she plays Blind Al in Deadpool. That bitch is up to something suspicious, but I don't know. I can't tell if it's because she has evil motivations or if, like, they are good motivations and she's just trying to hide the information to protect people's, like, sense of, safety and feeling in there. And then, as Lucy's going out into this world, you discover all these new characters. She goes to this small town, goes in this shop with this character, I believe's name was Ma June, who, just kind of this curmudgeon-y, grumpy old shopkeep who trades in bottle caps and kind of shows you how the world, is working outside of these vaults. And so you just meet all of these characters, and they're all fun. They're all compelling, and like the acting across the board, from the main characters to the side characters to the few kid actors we have, it is all top notch. I don't have a single complaint on any acting moment in this entire show. The production quality is great. The show looks fantastic. The world, the vault, it feels unique and you want to see more. You have the special effects on some of these creatures and the action scenes. It looks fantastic, especially for a TV show. Like, you can tell that the show has a budget and they're using it very, very well. And really, the show should only look better and better as we go on, because it seems like they're taking their time. And the first season was immensely successful. Came out of nowhere, was viewed by, like, I think Amazon said 65 million people within their first 2 weeks, which is just an insane number to have. So I guarantee they're going to keep pouring money into this show, so it should just look better and better. The score is solid. It's nothing spectacular, but it's not bad. It's just kind of there. It's nothing that stands out, nothing that I'm going to listen to on its own, but the overall production is so top-notch, and the way that the mysteries are set up in this season really does kind of just carry you into season 2. They do such a good job of setting up more story, more characters, more to learn, setting up the fact that the world is bigger by revealing that her dad has gone from, I believe they're in California, to Las Vegas, or New Vegas is what they're called. And so we're going to see more places, more people. We're going to do more exploring, which is where a lot of the fun happens, and a lot of conflicts happen on the road, is because you're just kind of constantly running into these shitty factions or people, shitty individuals, or what have you. But the show builds so well. I believe the season 1 is satisfying. It does have a satisfying arc, as you get to see Lucy find her dad, and then her dad leaves, sets up another season. So this season by itself is very satisfactory. However, if there was no season 2, it would leave you on a cliffhanger, would be kind of a bummer that you weren't seeing what was going on, but you can watch it, have a good time by itself. But I think season 2 is going to make season 1 even better, because it's not going to be leaving on kind of that cliffhangery type of note. But, I mean, really nothing but positive things to say about the show. It's easily one of the best video game shows or movies that I've ever seen. I know that I'm pretty sure it's not a direct adaptation of any of the games. It's my understanding that it takes place like before any of the games. It's a prequel, so not really restricted by a lot of canon points or characters, even though you do have to stay true to like what you've learned before about things that have happened in the past. Timeline-wise, it all has to make sense. But for these characters, for the story, they can kind of set it up and go wherever they want. And I just think it's very exciting. And you look at this, you look at The Last of Us, in particular, the first season of The Last of Us, and I think they're finally figuring out how to turn these video game properties into compelling stories, good shows, good movies, like with Sonic, The Last of Us, Fallout. These are all good adaptations, even though they're not, I don't know, like, I guess really The Last of Us is the only one that's a direct adaptation. This is not, Sonic's not, but it is so good. I don't know, on a scale of 10, I don't know if I'm being too generous, but I'm probably going to go with like a 9.7. Like, it's a damn near perfect season of TV, and I really, maybe like a 9.5 if I'm in a bad mood and I'm feeling curmudgeon-y about the whole thing. But I'm gonna, 9.7 out of 10. This show is so good. I cannot recommend it enough. If you have not seen it, please watch it, and watch it before season 2 comes out, and then you can be in on the fun and the mystery of trying to figure out what's going on. Like I said, I didn't start watching this show until a few weeks after it premiered. Watched it all in like a day and a half, I think, and then I will be there the minute that it premieres on Amazon Prime for season 2. I am so excited. I think they're in good hands, but let me know, what did you think? Did this show go as high for you as it did for me? Are you a fan of the Fallout games? Like I said, I'm not, so like I don't have a huge attachment to the lore. I've seen some friends play the game. I'm familiar with it, but I've never sat down and played through any of them, so I don't have that kind of critical lens that some of the game fans might have, where they're fucking up like how the world works, looks, timelines of things. I don't really know, but I've heard that it's pretty faithful. But let me know what you think. Let me know if you've played the games and how that affects. Does it like make you like it more? Does it make you like it less? Do you think it stands on its own, like without the aid of the games at all? But really, let me know what you think, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one.